Hey everyone! So today I want to talk about something that induces anxiety in just about everybody that owns an RV. Whether you're a newbie or somebody that's been around the block a few times, there's no doubt that at one time or another you have fretted about the toilet in your RV and what to do to best take care of that and to ensure that your black tank and your sewer drainage goes as smoothly as possible at the campsite. And I want to share the process that I've come up with that's been working without fail. Super happy with the products I use and how I use them because we haven't encountered any issues yet. So the first thing I want to share with you guys is what I do before we leave for our trip. And usually what happens is about sometime within the week leading up to our departure date, I will go in and I will do a cleaning of the toilet. And we don't hook up to our water here at home or the sewer. So what I do is I usually bring in a gallon jug of water and I'll fill my toilet bowl up about halfway or so. And then I put in my favorite RV toilet cleaner. This is called Scrub It RV Toilet Bowl Cleaner. And I get this through Amazon. Actually have it on my subscribe and save so that I don't forget to replenish my supply throughout the year. So what I'll do is after I fill that toilet up about halfway or so with water, I take this and I heavily douse the inside of the bowl from the rim all the way down with this stuff. And I let it sit for like at least about 30 minutes to maybe an hour. And after it's sat for all that time, I will go ahead and drain the bulk of it down into the black tank. And at that point, I will scrub out the bowl with, you can use whatever you want to. Some people use those scrubbing wands like you use in your home toilet. Some people use sanitizing wipes. Whatever you're most comfortable with using, go ahead and use it. But do not let whatever you're using go down in that black tank because it will clog things up and you will have a nightmare on your hands. So this stuff that I got actually has probiotics, and it actually says cleans toilet bowls with tank enhancing probiotics. So this is something that's already going to be going to work on whatever's left over in your black tank from your last trip. So after I scrub the inside of the toilet, I will get another gallon of water and pour it around the inside to rinse everything down into the black tank. All right. And then that sits in there until we get to our campsite, and really until we check out of our campsite, because we don't drain it when we get there. There's only like a gallon and a half maybe or so of liquid plus this probiotic cleaner that's sitting in that tank. So we won't empty it until it's time to leave the campsite. So it's basically going to sit in there and work its magic. I should back up a moment here. After I go through the cleaning and rinsing out process, there's something else I add. And it is this Thetford toilet seal. So what I do is I put in enough of this after I've drained all the water, all the cleaner, everything is out down in the black tank. There's nothing on that toilet seal. I put this on it. And what I do is squirt it in until it covers the toilet seal. I squirt it in the bottom of the bowl, right around that seal. Make sure the seal is completely covered. The last thing you want to happen is for your seal to dry out, because it will warp, it will bend, it will stick, and it will not seal tightly. And that is often where you get the problem when you're camping, of getting that sewage smell coming up from the toilet because it's not sealing off that gas coming up through, and it will actually fill your trailer with the smell of sewer. So caring for your seal is critical. I never let the seal dry out. So then we get to the campsite. And once we're hooked up to everything, I've got the water flowing, all is good in the land of RV hookups. Then it's time to put in my additive. And what I use is this. I'm sure you've all heard of this. It is the liquefied RV toilet treatment. All right, so what you do is you want to loosen this cap over here that has this, I don't know, channel, I guess we can call it, where the liquid goes up through. And you squeeze it until you fill it up to the line for the size of your tank. And I will be honest with you, I fill this up twice. This little square thing here that you see this liquid in, I fill that up 2 times and dump it in my toilet, and then flush some water down with it to, again, get down there with all the other fun stuff I have floating around down there so far. So we've got the Scrub It, which has the probiotic. We have the Toilet Seal lubricant and conditioner, and then we have this stuff. So all those things are going to work towards keeping that liquefied so that when it's time to flush it, we're not going to have any problems emptying out that black tank. So the other thing I will tell you, another neat little trick, is I would dump some of this down your kitchen sink or your bathroom sink, a cap full of that to your gray tank, because why not? So I do it there. It keeps anything, like sometimes I'm pretty good about making sure we don't have a lot of nasty stuff going down that kitchen sink drain. But you figure, just through the course of doing dishes and things like that, you're occasionally going to get some food particles and things that might go down there. Have some of this in there to help break that down as well. We've not had any issues with our gray tank either. We've not had issues with the smells coming back up. So definitely would recommend those products for maintaining your black and gray tank when you're going out camping. So what do I do when we're leaving the campsite? Well, if we're lucky enough that we have a later checkout time, like maybe my favorite checkout time is 3 o'clock, but if we have even like a 1 o'clock checkout time, that's enough time for me when my husband's outside breaking down the griddle and putting the furniture and stuff away. That's enough time for me to get in there and give that toilet a cleaning so that it's clean before we leave the campsite, and it's something I don't have to deal with when I get home. I will clean the toilet, the shower, the bathroom sink, and the kitchen sink. I'm not so worried about countertops, floors, things like that. I could do all that when I get home. But things that I need to be rinsing cleaners away, I want to be able to do that at the campsite if I can, so that stuff all goes out whenever we empty the gray and the black tanks. So I will go through the process of cleaning my toilet right there at the campsite. And again, using my Scrub It toilet cleaner, same process as before, but this time I've actually got water. So I will fill that toilet up with the water from the campsite until it's about, halfway, which is a little challenging to do. It seems like toilets are just like, you're fighting against that seal, and it's hard to fill something that's emptying almost as fast as you're filling it. But anyhow, I will fill it up about halfway. I will put this stuff in there and let it sit for 30 minutes or so, and then I'll go through the process of cleaning my toilet. For my kitchen sink, my bathroom sink, my shower, I featured those cleaning products in another video that I will try to hook up to this one so that it will autoplay as you guys are going through. The other thing I want to talk about is when you're at the campsite and you are doing your business in the toilet. The important thing to remember, and this is going to be graphic, is liquid to solid ratio. That is where a lot of people have problems. They're not putting enough water into their black tank. So you want to make sure that when you go to the bathroom that you have mostly water. Even let's take the graphic nature down a bit here. Let's say it's just a wad of toilet paper that you have in there. You want enough water in that toilet so that when you flush it, it easily carries that toilet paper down into the black tank. You don't want it stuck to the insides of the bowl or anything like that. And you kind of want to envision in your mind that like you want enough water that would keep that toilet paper afloat. So every time you flush it, just make sure you're flushing enough water with whatever is in there, that it's just adding more and more water to the tank. Because these things, none of them, even this stuff here, none of them mean anything if you don't have enough water in there. They're not going to do the job on their own. They need to have that water to be able to break everything down and liquefy it so that when it's time to clean out your black tank, your gray tank, whatever, that they're carrying away that solid waste. That solid waste is broken down almost completely, if not completely. And, you know, it's kind of hard for it to be 100% broken down, but it will break it down enough that it will easily empty out your black tank. So you really don't have to be afraid to use it. I have heard stories about people that are ripping their bathrooms out of their campers because they don't want to deal with the toilet and the black tank. Why? If you do it the right way, there's nothing to be afraid of. And something else I'll tell you, if you're just in the process of researching RVs and you haven't bought one yet, something you might want to look for when you're out shopping is one that actually comes with a black tank rinse. Now, I know there is a hookup that connects to the sewer hose that will rinse it out whenever you're going through the process of, after you dump your black tank, you hook up a hose and then it will, not your drinking water hose, a separate hose. You'll hook up that hose and it will spray water up into your black tank and rinse it out. But this trailer has a specifically designated black tank rinse, and it has its own hose that we use, and we run our hose over to this connection. It's actually on this side of the trailer, which is where the awning and everything is. So it actually hooks up out here and it goes down into, it sprays the water down into the black tank. I believe there's some kind of like spray mechanism in there. I don't know. I'm going to have to look into that further because now I'm curious. But there's some type of like a spray mechanism, spray head or whatever, that basically we let it run for a period of time. I'm not sure exactly how much time. I'd have to ask my husband, but let it run for a little while. He usually goes over and looks through the clear elbow of the sewer hose. And whenever he sees that the water's pretty clear coming out, then he knows he's done with the black tank rinse. But if you can get a travel trailer, an RV of any kind really, that has that black tank rinse, oh man, is it nice. I am telling you, when we get to the point where we upgrade at some point in the future, after we retire, we'll have more time, we'll probably go a little bit fancier with the RV, and at that point, we are absolutely going to be looking for something that has the black tank rinse. Once you have it, you don't ever want to be without it. At least I don't think so. And then the other thing, and this is also very important, I should have mentioned this when I was talking about the whole solid to water ratio. That toilet paper that you're putting in your toilet, make sure you're using something that is RV safe, that is going to break down. You don't want to go out and buy yourself a package of Charmin. That stuff will not break down. It'll end up clogging things up. Usually whenever people are talking about, you know, issues with their sensors getting blocked, 9 times out of 10, it's a chunk of toilet paper. So you do want to get something that's going to break up easily. And something you can do to kind of test it is get yourself a glass canning jar and put a piece of your toilet paper that you're going to be using in that jar. Fill it with water and let it sit for a period of time. I think like maybe 15 minutes or so, and then go back to it and shake it up. And if it breaks up like it's nothing, there's just little fine particles of toilet paper, then you should be good. But by all means, make sure you're using an RV safe toilet paper and that you don't put anything down there besides waste, RV safe toilet paper, and your RV cleaning products and treatments. Nothing else. Nothing else should go in that black tank. And as far as the gray tank goes, I never rinse grease down. I'll usually let the grease, if there is bacon grease, which 9 times out of 10 we don't have any because we use the griddle outside. But say I make something and it leaves like a grease residue, I'll typically wipe that off with a paper towel and then wash whatever dish it is. I'm careful to not let too many food particles. You're going to get some down there, but I try not to get too many particles down that drain. The other thing is be careful with your coffee grounds. It's easy when you're rinsing out filter baskets and things like that to get coffee grounds in there, and those will often clog your lines, and it's just better to be careful, to be cautious, to not let them get down there to begin with, and then you don't have to worry about dealing with that mess in the end. That's really all you have to do. Don't fear the toilet, guys. It's honestly one of the best conveniences that you have in your RV when you're out camping. Do you really want to walk to the camp restroom in the middle of the night in the pouring rain to use the bathroom? I mean, you certainly don't want to go outside and squat in the pouring rain. So why not have a nice, clean bathroom in your RV that you can use? Just think about if you get sick, do you want to have to like run to the camp bathroom every 5 minutes? No, this is your home away from home. It should have a bathroom in it. If you have a bathroom at your house, you should have one in your RV and you should be able to use it. So that's all. I hope this was helpful to you. If you enjoyed this video, like and please subscribe. Stick around. I have a lot more to share with you guys as we move forward.